Hello, all of you bold, beautiful, brilliant, and highly evolved souls. I'm Davina, and I think I'm going to call this the Narcissist's Limited Capacity. So, what I was thinking this morning, I guess sort of an insight came to me, and the picture I imagined was that as a child, I was this big circle, I was full of like exuberance, I was expressive, I had big emotions, I was strong, I had a curiosity, a drive for independence, I was aware and sensitive and intelligent and creative. So all of these amazing qualities, right? And what happens when you have a narcissistic parent is the narcissist has very, very limited capacity for, well, as you know, for empathy, for caring, for holding space for emotions. Narcissists are basically weak and empty and very limited, and in terms of what they can do in an interpersonal kind of relationship. And so the only thing that they can do, instead of meeting you where you are in your wonderful big circle of of all your wonderful qualities, the only thing they can do is to squash you down and to squeeze you into their very limited, small, tiny circle of capacity. And so that, I wrote this little small circle where I'm now this sort of well-behaved, just a little bit cheerful, cheerful enough so that she's happy, but not too cheerful that she's jealous, quiet little girl. And that is what I ended up being. And I was just grieving this morning and crying. And here, I'll show you my little picture here that I drew. So this is me as I, entered the world. And this is how I ended up, a very small fraction of, of what my true self was. Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be more grief coming up around that. So yeah, narcissists are, kind of Neanderthals in a way. They haven't grown, their parents didn't grow. So on and on and on. People didn't really grow or evolve. They just passed on. Okay, narcissist, next narcissist, next narcissist. And, there's not really much evolution happening. So healthy parents, on the other hand, when they have a child and their child is maybe, pushing them or pushing their boundaries, or, maybe they feel uncomfortable, or maybe their shame is coming up, what a healthy parent does is the parent tries to change, and the parent tries to grow as a person and realizes, oh, I really need to work on my patience, or, what, my boundaries are a little weak. I need to work on my boundaries so that my child feels safe, or maybe I need to be just a little bit more gentle, and maybe I need to try and be a little bit more affectionate with my child. And this is how parents also grow and evolve with their child. That, I think, is God's plan, or maybe, I don't know, but I think that's the way it's supposed to go. I know that when I'm with caring for a child, that's what I always aim to do. And I know my shame probably leaks out, but I do everything within my power to go, okay, this is my weak point right now. I'm working on transitions and trying to help the child through their transition in a little bit more, graceful and gentle way. And narcissists are totally opposite of that. Instead of trying to grow, instead of saying, oh, I have a weakness, I have a shortcoming, how can I be a better person for my precious child that I brought into the world? They can't handle it. they can't handle that shame coming up. They don't have any capacity for self-reflection. The only thing they can do is shame you and intimidate you and invalidate you and mock you and, on and on and on until you're like this. That's the only thing that they can do as a parent. So what happens with a narcissist, I was writing down, was like, number one, they're possibly jealous of you. So, for example, they're jealous of your exuberance. They're jealous of your strength. And so, they'll put that down because they don't want you, outshining them kind of thing, because they don't feel like, they feel loathsome, even if they're not actually, that's what they feel. And so they feel jealous of the beautiful qualities that start showing up as you're, an infant and toddler. And, wow, as a nanny, I see like children are just amazing. It's even at this young age, they're just what they can do. And they just have so much life and just amazing to watch. It could be inspiring, but instead of being inspiring, they're jealous, so they want to like squash you down. Number two, they're also, the other things is like, they're incapable of handling your big emotions. They're incapable of handling your sensitivity. And so what do? They, again, they put the blame on you. They make it seem like you're the problem, right? Instead of like, I need to change, I need to grow. They make it sound like you're being too sensitive, you're overreacting. You've heard all these things. You're being unreasonable. That's an overreaction, all those things, so that they stay the good parent, the perfect parent, and now you're the one who's the shameful one, rather than, what they're doing is actually shameful, really shameful. The third one is anything that makes them uncomfortable. If you want to try and talk about something of depth with your parents, you come to them with a question, or maybe you want to talk about God, or, I cared for a really highly sensitive boy, and he had the deepest, most amazing questions. And he wanted to know why graffiti artists put graffiti on things. And like, he was deep. Oh, that just sends shivers up my spine. But, he was deep. And narcissists they're not comfortable with depth. They're like absolutely superficial. So again, this is what they do, is they like, if you try to talk to them about things like that, they'll probably just not respond, or they'll just ignore you, so that you're left going, well, I guess that topic is not okay. And what can I talk about with my parent? And you start to limit, yourself, because, that doesn't seem to be a comfortable topic for my mother. So that's out the window, Oh, and that's not comfortable for her either. So goodbye to that. I noticed this too with the family that I have right now. When I mentioned that I'm meditating on the weekend, no response. They just had a blank face. They didn't say, oh, that's really cool, or how long have you been meditating for, or anything, just nothing. And I'm realizing that stirs up their denial, they don't like it. They're not comfortable. Number 4 is anything that's a threat to your narcissistic parent. Independence is a big one. It's really a threat to them to see you like wanting to do things for yourself, because they start picturing you leaving, and they don't want you to leave. They want you to, be dependent on them, so that they can continue using you for supply, so that they can continue gaining this, validation that they're good and they're wonderful. So yeah, anything that is a threat to them and their very fragile egos. And the last one, kind of, I guess I wrote it as 2 things. Anything that makes them feel bad or look bad. And this was very clear to me in my insight this morning. It's like, if you're crying, that's making them look bad in their small warped mind. You crying is making them look like a bad parent. And so they will just try to, shut you up in any way possible. Calm down, you're fine. You're being a sock, all those things. To just try to like quiet you because they have no ability to, again, handle these big emotions. And so you're, making them look bad. If you're behaving in a way that they don't like, then in their mind, you're making them look bad. And so, if you're not obedient to everything they want you to do, that's called bad behavior. And in their minds, then, you're not reflecting back to them what a wonderful parent they are. And so you really have two options. You're either going to be like the golden child who does reflect back and says, I'm just going to do whatever my mom wants. I'll be whatever my mom wants me to be, kind of thing. And reflect back how wonderful you are. Or you're going to be the scapegoat and you're going to go like, no, I'm going to protest that. I don't like that, and narcissists hate that, so you become, blamed and shamed and, the defective problem child, the difficult one, when really, you're just protesting what is, abusive, unfair, unhealthy, insensitive, disrespectful treatment. Phew, that's a lot. But yeah, so yeah, I just really want to get that kind of picture across to you, and that who you are is, this expansive being, who's so amazing, so incredibly amazing. And you had these Neanderthal narcissistic parents, and yeah, their own limitations. Yeah, very, very sadly, um, you know, just shoved you into very small, tiny little box that they could, so that they could control and manage you, right? Basically, so that they can control you. Yeah. I think that's all I wanted to say on that. It's heavy, and I think I keep having insights on these things, and it just comes up in different ways. And if you feel like you have to go over this like 1,000 times in your mind, or 2,000 times, like, how your parents abused you, and go at it with different angles, that's okay, because denial, very sneaky. It'll just slip back in there and you don't even know that suddenly you're in denial and you're feeling like this shameful, despicable person. So it's okay. And I think it's actually a wonderful thing to keep validating that, keep reminding yourself how awful your parents were and how awful they treated you. And you are, oh, this is a good sign for the end of the video. If you're still here, please, you are an unrepeatable miracle of life. And I am wishing you many blessings on your journey of healing and awakening. It's extremely painful at times. Hang in there, and thanks for watching. I'm Davina at Boldness Bloomin'.